Hey everyone, my name is Alicia and welcome back to Double A Homestead. Now for this particular video, I have something special to show you. We are freeze drying eggs today. Now with everything with the eggs that's going on, it's absolutely insane. We have been kind of fortunate. Our prices haven't been too crazy, which is really good. I did buy, unfortunately, for this video, just because we don't have any chickens right now, I had to go buy some eggs. Those are Meyer brand and they are 24 egg count for that. I have 3 of them and I paid about $8 and I'd say around 30 cents for that. The price is higher, but it's not like what it was before. I know it's been a while since we've really thrown out a video. We kind of got behind there for a little bit. The snowblower was a recent video, but I am happy to say that fortunately we got all caught up on our videos. Okay, so let's go ahead and get to freeze drying these eggs. So I already filled 1 tray just to kind of give an idea of how many eggs I can fit in that tray, and comfortably I can fit 12. I probably could do more, but at that point we're kind of getting, you know, I don't want to spill anything. So I'm going to go ahead and get these eggs in the bowl, but I'm going to get these trays out of the way first because I'm not going to be putting them in here right away. So let's move these. And then I have 2 bowls here. I have a bowl for my shells and then my eggs are going in here. Now with the eggshells, I am going to be saving them and using them in the garden, so I just have an extra bowl for that. But I'm going to go ahead and get these cracked. When you have all your eggs cracked into the bowl, you want to make sure that you are whisking them. So let's go ahead and whisk those. Now that the eggs are whisked, I'm actually going to be doing this tray by tray just to make sure that I have an even 12 on each of those trays so I'm not spilling or overfilling them. Normally, I would have the freeze dryer in the freezing process for that 15 minutes, but it's really loud and I've got you guys up close to the freeze dryer and I don't want that on right now. It's not gonna hurt anything if I don't have that pre-freezing time. Not that I have noticed any difference in anything. I have accidentally forgot to do it before and it has not changed anything that I have noticed. So if you do tend to forget that while you're prepping your food, no issue there. So what I'm doing here is, you can see I've got this bottom tray filled already, but I'm not going to take these trays out all the way just because I am dealing with liquids and I don't want to spill anything. It's easier for me just to have the tray in here and then take the liquid to the tray instead of putting the tray on the table and bringing that to the freeze dryer. So let's go ahead and get this tray filled up. And I'm going to do it just slowly. There we go. Unfortunately, the freeze dryer is a little uneven, so I have to be cautious. We gotta get that leveled out. Now I'm just gonna lift it a little bit, try to get that liquid back there, and then see how much easier that is doing it that way instead of putting the tray with the liquid in the freeze dryer. So let's go ahead and get these other 2 trays filled up and get this freeze dryer going. Okay, this is the very last tray, so let's go ahead and get this filled. Now you want to be a little careful when you are doing it this way, just because you don't want your tray out too far and then spill whatever it is that you are freeze drying, if it's soup or in this instant eggs. So you definitely want to be careful, like I said, on how far you have that tray out. Let's get this door closed and prompt this freeze dryer to start. This is the pump that comes with the freeze dryer. This isn't the oil-free freeze dryer. This is the one with the pump. I wanted to show you over here. I know the freezer is really close. It looks like it's pinching it off, but it's not. That's where the valve is, and that's where the water comes out when the freeze dryer is all done. And usually I have like a tote underneath, but I took that out. I actually got to go get that and put that back. I have you at the opening screen on the freeze dryer. I haven't turned it on just because it is really loud and I want you guys to be able to hear what I'm saying. But as you can see, we have customize start. I haven't really messed with the customize option, and we can get more into detail on that later if you guys really want me to do that. But to get this going, we've got the pump is on, and then we've got the valve that is closed. You want to make sure that that is closed, and then we're just going to go ahead and hit start. And then this is the 15-minute cooling time that I was talking about before you put your food in. Like I said before, I haven't had any issues putting food in before. I did it once before on accident and it seemed to have worked just fine. Like I said, just because of the liquid situation, I want to be careful and not spill any on the floor, so it's just so much easier to do that. Now that the eggs are in the freeze dryer, I'm not 100% sure on the process of how long it's going to take. It could take a day, it could take up to 2 days. But once the freeze dryer is finished, I'm definitely going to show you guys the aftermath of that. We are back at the freeze dryer. It is finally done. I put the eggs in Saturday night, and then it is Monday morning. It was finished, I think, around like 6 o'clock in the morning, but that's way too early for me right now. So we are here. I did the warming tray function so I can grab those. You don't have to do the warming tray function. It's just more pleasant to touch the trays. You could use mitts, but I prefer to do the warming tray. So it's almost finished, so let's go ahead and get those freeze-dried eggs out of the dryer. The next step for this process is I'm going to ensure that the eggs are completely dried, that there is no moisture in there, and then after that I'm going to go ahead and get these eggs into my food processor. You don't have to use a food processor. Anything that you have, like a blender or anything that blends, will work perfectly fine. Oh yeah, I think we're pretty good here. It's crumbling up really well. Now I have noticed in the past that things tend to stick to the tray of the freeze dryer, so I just have a plastic spatula here to help me get the eggs off the bottom of this tray. Let's see if I can get this into the food processor without spilling anything. No guarantees, but we're gonna go for it. Oh, no, I already spilled. Now, the reason why I'm just doing this is because I want to get this into a powder form. And I can get these into whatever I want to store these in, like the Marla bags that came with it, or my favorite so far is for short-term storage, putting them into a mason jar, which will most likely be happening for me just because I love eggs. I eat them pretty much every single day, so I will be eating most of these. Okay, we have one tray in here so far. I don't want to put more than one tray in here. Not that I don't think it can handle it, but it's just easier that way. We're at, without being, sorry, I'm having technical difficulties. Without it being in the food processor, me doing anything, we are at about 4 cups. So we'll see. It might get a little loud, just so you know. All right, I think we're good here. That's not too bad at all. I'll get a close-up so you guys can see what that looks like. It's pretty fluffy, almost like yellow-colored snow is what I think of. All right, now that we have that done, I'm going to go ahead and get this in a mason jar. To make it easier on myself, I was lucky enough to find a funnel in the basement where I'm currently located, but I grabbed one of the big mason jars. I'm not sure what size this is, but the only one that I can find. I like to store things in this size here. I definitely need to get more. So let's go ahead, get, without trying to spill again, this in here. Oh my goodness, I'm making a mess. Now when you're doing this, you could weigh it out, or when you're long-term storage, putting it that way, measuring it out, how much is in each container or Marla bag, or how you're doing it. Like I said, me personally, just because I do eat a lot of eggs, I'm not really concerned right now about doing that until I get towards more at the end of the week, and then I can see where I am at, and then I might put some up for long-term storage. Let's see. This here has measurements. You can't see it. It goes by cups and then pints. And I am right now about a cup and a half with that. So that's 12 eggs for one tray. I'm going to go ahead and get the rest of these trays done and in the food processor, and I will be right back. Now that I have everything cleaned up a little bit, for measurement wise, if you're doing long-term storage or anything of that sort, you want to measure this out, or you could just put it in a Marla bag and be okay with that. I know that 2 tablespoons equal 1 egg. You can see that I have a few things in front of me here, my eggs that I dehydrated. I have a bowl and some water, and what we're going to do is rehydrate this and test these eggs out. So let's give it a whirl. Like I said, for 1 egg is 2 tablespoons. So we're gonna go ahead and get 2 tablespoons in here. And then I do have some water. Hopefully I have enough. 1. Those weren't quite filled, so I'm just gonna go ahead and put a little bit more water in there. And then we're gonna let this rehydrate for a little bit. I don't know if you can see, but so far, this is what it looks like. I just put the water in here, so it hasn't had really time to absorb, but it's still got some like pieces in there. It's not completely hydrated. I mean, it looks like if I was to scramble an egg, that's what it looks like so far. So we're gonna go ahead, give it a little bit more time and see what it looks like. It's been about a minute or so, and I let this hydrate, and the consistency is still, I mean, there's still pieces in there. It's not like 100% perfect, but the consistency is like of an egg, so you can see. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in my electric skillet and see how it tastes. Now, I do want to say that unfortunately in the beginning of January, we ended up with COVID and it hit our household pretty hard. We all recovered well, but unfortunately for me, I'm still struggling with my taste and smell. I can smell very like faint things, might catch me, more so like perfumes and stuff like that. It really depends on what it is. Food is another thing. Some things are like dull is the only way I can explain it. Like I can slightly taste things, just minimal. And then other things, it's like a punch in the face. It's so strong sometimes. It's the wildest thing ever, but I'm hoping at some point I'll be able to fully recover from that. Anyway, let's get back to the egg and then see how this is. I would pull Andrew for the taste test, but he is sleeping right now, so it's just gonna be me. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it looks like an egg when you cook it. That's good. For how things look. And I goofed and I didn't grab a plate, so let me go ahead and grab a plate real quick. Didn't take very long to cook, which is good, especially if you're on a time crunch. I can definitely see from a freeze-dried egg to this, the texture, or not texture, but it looks smooth, whereas like a regular egg, or I mean they're both regular eggs, but from a non-freeze-dried to a freeze-dried, you can tell how it looks a little bit different. The main test is to taste it and see what it tastes like. Okay, let's go ahead and give this a taste. Texture is good. It's not weird. I mean, it is not like a non-freeze-dried egg, but it's really close. Taste-wise, what I can, I mean, yeah, tastes like an egg, like I said, from what I can taste. But it's pretty good. I mean, it's wild to think that I can take these eggs, put them in a machine, take all the moisture out, and then store them for 35 years. And then, you know, use that throughout like the week or whatever. It's just mind-blowing. But I wanted to share this with you guys because, like I keep mentioning, there's a lot of things going on in the world right now, and eggs is one of them. And if you can preserve them this way, that's absolutely fantastic. I just wanted to help you guys in a way where you can save eggs for the future for you and your family. But that's all I have for you right now for this video. I really hope that you enjoyed this video, and you can really help us out by giving us a like, subscribe, and share. We'd really appreciate that. Until next time, take care.